Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing. So really quickly we are going to do our next YouTube collaboration project. This is with Mandy over on Mandy's Place. This is for Happy Mails, a little swap gift ideas. I'm very late this week because honestly I forgot. I had the project all ready to go and yeah, I don't know what happened. So anyway, we're going to make these super cute 4x4 pizza boxes. So for this video, we are just going to make the box, and then next week I will show you how to make the flowers and how you can package up the flowers. So these are super cute boxes. Oops, sorry. I did have a little belly band, so they're kind of like this without the belly band. This is a great gift idea. I'm making these for my coworkers for Mother's Day. And what's inside is I just took some tissue paper and glued on some gold butterflies. You can leave them loose if you want to, but I just wanted it when they opened the box, they saw the butterflies, and I didn't want the butterflies to get all over work. So I left it like that. It's not, you can, put it in like this and put the stuff on top. I didn't do that. I just laid it on top. It's fine. But what I added were just some individually wrapped tea bags. I had some peach tea, some green ginger, and some English breakfast teas, and I had these Jolly Rancher singles to go because at work we're really into teas, and the girls are doing a water challenge, so I just figured these little Jolly Rancher things would be a great way to help them achieve their water goals, because these are 0-calorie sugar-free flavor sticks. So I thought that would be really nice for them. And then the packaging, it's all about the packaging, right? So like I said, this week we're going to go ahead and make this box, and then we are going to make the flower for next week's Happy Mail tutorial. And for those of you who are wondering, what Happy Mail is, it's exactly what its namesake says. It's Happy Mail. So it's something that you would want to send to someone in the mail just to make them happy. It doesn't have to be any special occasion. It can just be a random, I saw this paper pad and I thought of you, made you a little pizza box full of goodies or cards or whatever you want to put in there. So yeah. And then again, I will show you next week how to do the flowers and the tag, and I'm going to show you a different way to package the flowers as well. So that's going to be a twofer. Okay, so for the box, you do need cardstock. This is pattern cardstock. It's not pattern paper. It's the heavyweight cardstock from 2 different paper pads. If you only have thin pattern paper, then you need to make cardstock first, and then make your box out of cardstock and then decorate it. You really only have to decorate the top. You don't have to do all the sides or anything like that. But I just decided to skip that whole part and just get the thick decorated cards, or designer cardstock is what I did. Okay, so this is my little cheat sheet over here for the measurements. This box was by Sam Donaldson, who is Poodles Craft on YouTube and Facebook. She does amazing boxes. Any box you want, you just go to her website and that's what you do. So what you need is a piece of paper that's 8 1/4 by 11 1/2. So it is just slightly bigger than our paper. So you do have to use a 12 by 12 piece. 8 1/4 by 11 1/2. Right, did I measure that right? Yep, 8 1/4 by 11 1/2. So for me it worked out because, like I said, I'm using the heavy cardstock design paper anyway, so it didn't really matter. Okay, so using your scoreboard, which is the easiest to use, you can use your paper trimmer, but I thought this was easy. Oh, do not throw your extra piece away because you're going to use that for your belly band if you want. So your measurements are going to be on the long side 1 inch, 5 1/4, and 6 1/4, and 10 1/2. So 1 inch, 5 1/4, 6 1/4, 10 1/2. Okay, you're going to flip it round, and on the 8 1/4 side, you're going to do 1, 2, 6 1/4, and 7 1/4. Okay, so 1, 2, 6 1/4, 7 1/4. That's all the score marks you need. It's easier to trim the paper out while it is not hasn't been varnished, so don't fold your lines or anything yet. But what you need to do is go ahead and let's separate. So you're going to have your paper the long way. So on these middle boxes, you're going to cut to the right of the score line on this side and to the left of the score line here. It's just easier because I like to do that and then I notch out afterwards. So you're going to take the ever so slightly little notch. Let's see if I can show you guys this out of this side here. So you're just going to chunk it just a little bit. You see that little tiny piece? Pull that. You're going to do the same on this side, just ever so slightly notch it out. And then you're going to do the same thing on here. You're just going to notch it out. Just a little tiny sliver. If you cut exact on the lines, you may not have to do this, but I mean, I don't know. Okay, so let's do the same on both sides. So just cut and notch, cut and notch, and then notch your floppy bits in the middle here. You're just kind of going on a slight angle so it looks like a little triangle a little bit. Now it should look like an M, kind of, or W, whatever. Okay, so with our paper turn, what we need to do is on this side, the right-hand side, we need to get rid of one of the boxes. So we need to get rid of this whole piece. Here's my score line here. Okay, we need to get rid of all of yes, we need to get rid of all of that. And the first score line, we need to get rid of all of that. Okay, so I'm just going to trim mine. And I like to go to the right of the score line, just slightly. Okay, so now it should look like that. So we still have the two, the one score line here, like so. Okay. Next, what we need to do is to cut on the score line here. This one I like to use my smaller scissors because it's only one box. So I'm going to cut, and I'm only going to notch here, right here on this one, because this we have to cut an arc into it. So if you've already notched it, that's fine. It don't really matter. So ever so slightly. Okay, so this is the top of our box. So this would fold down, these would fold in, these fold in. But we're not done cutting yet, so don't worry about varnishing or anything right now. So what we need to do on the bottom part is we need to cut on these score lines all the way up to the second score line. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can see that with my shadows, but you see there's still the two boxes. You're just going to cut it and notch it. You're not going to take them off or anything. So cut and notch ever so slightly. Okay. I'm just gonna notch. So when I notch, I go on a diagonal. So the bottom is going to be thinner than the top, if that makes sense. See how that, you can kind of tell with that. It's like a long skinny triangle. It's good to use the bigger scissors. It's easier, it's faster anyway, I think. Okay. So now we can go ahead and varnish all of our lines. So we're just going to pop that up. Pop this up. That piece. Now our sides, just give them a good varnish. Okay. Now these flaps right here, you don't have to varnish the first score line, just the second one. So it's like this. Because the first line we're not fooling with. We're just tucking it under. But these ones you definitely want to varnish both score lines. If you've already varnished these, both of the, it doesn't matter honestly. Because how, okay, before I tell you how we're going to put the box together, let's turn our paper back here where we just have the one flap. You need to make this into like an arc. So if you see here, my little flaps are kind of circular, and you're going to trim some of it off. It's just so it fits inside the box and it keeps it shut. So there's no right or wrong reason. I just kind of took it at a point and just kind of just rounded in and snipped off. So just kind of round in, snipped off. And then I just trimmed a little bit off. It doesn't matter how much. Round in, trim off. That one's really wonky, but that's okay. And trim off. So this one I rounded a little bit too much. As you can see, it's really wonky, but it's going to be okay because it's just a flap to hold the box in. And the belly band will help it. So now when you put the box together, I like to fold this piece back. It's not going to hurt it, but I just don't want it in my way because we need to tuck these two pieces in and fold that over like so. So you see here how we have the two flaps. They need to come in and this comes over. Okay, so your box looks like this when you're done. I like to fold it first and then I'm going to glue it. You're only going to glue this top flap here, just the top flap. You can use your score tape. You could probably use tape runner because you're not going to put anything heavy in this. I'm just going to use the liquid glue because I like it. So push those two pieces back in like so and fold it down. You do not want to put glue on more than any bit of that flap that I just told you, or else your tabs are not going to flip in. Okay, so give the glue a second. You have your paper clips just to kind of hold it while it's drying. You can do that. Same thing with the other side. You're only going to put glue up here. That's it. Glue, score tape, tape runner, whatever. You're only going to put it up there. Tuck your two sides in and flip it over. Giving that glue a good smush around in there. Make sure you have proper adhesion. Okay. And your box is done. Like, that's it. So I'm just going to put these little things on here real quick because my glue is just not quite dry. So your bits here are going to go inside the box and your flaps go outside of the box. So as soon as this dries, I think I put too much on this side. I put a lot on there. Didn't mean to. Easy on the squeezy. Okay. So the larger flaps go inside the box like a true pizza box, you see? And then these little flaps are going to go inside of the box here like so. So there you go. Okay. I just, so that way you know which one was the front, which was the back, I just took a 3/4 circle punch and I just punched it halfway. So in the middle and halfway in the circle. So you have a semicircle. Just so you know what is the front and the back. So if your tabs don't fit in and you have to like manipulate them, you can cut them down a little bit more, like make them shorter. Just fit it in there. So for the belly band, I just took the scrap, and those ones I made at 1.5 inches, but I think it was too big, or 1.25 inches. So I'm just going to do 1 inch for the belly band. I think that's plenty. Maybe 1.25 inches. Yeah, because those were 1.5 inches. I think 1.5 inches was too big, but 1.25 inches looks about right. I did not measure when I folded. All I did was just kind of fold it over the box a little bit like that, and then I flipped it over and I just kind of met the sides up and folded it and varnished it. That's all I did, just so that way it was even. Well, the sides of the paper were even. The measurements don't have to be even because you're just putting it around the box. So I did that, and the same, I flipped it on its side, made like an indentation, flipped it on its side, made an indentation, opened it back up, and just finished it. Cause see, if I don't measure it up, you see how like this piece, it's off. If I just squish it down, so I just make sure that it's not off on the sides. If it is, it's not gonna matter, honestly. And then what I did is I just took some score tape. You can do this with glue if you want. For me, it's just faster with score tape. I just put some score tape on that top piece. I don't know where my 1/2 inch score tape is, so I just used 2 pieces of 1/4 inch. It's probably overkill, but whatever. So you just put your belly band back down, flip it over, and you want it to be you don't want it to be snug up against the box. Like, you want it to be able to move up and down, if that makes sense. So before I varnish it, I just make sure that I can easily move the belly band up and down. One of them I didn't do that with, and it's too tight, but I already had it done. So I mean, it's not that tight that where you can't move it, but when you try to put it back on, it's a little cumbersome. But I mean, honestly, it's not that big of a deal. You just pull it off, and then you just got to kind of pull it back on like that, and then bring it down. Whereas like the other ones, they just slide right off and they slide right back on. Because that first one, I tried to do exact measurements. See how easy that was? This one, I tried to do exact measurements for the belly band for the tutorial, and it just made it too snug. So, if that makes sense. So yeah, so your box is done once you get that here. I decorated mine with these little flowers. Like I said, on next week's Happy Meal, I'll show you how to do the flowers. We'll add those to the box, and we will do some other packaging with those. But thanks for watching, guys. Bye.